next few minutes, you're going to hear about an explosive new business opportunity. The first business that's positioned perfectly to capitalize on the biggest story to rock the trillion-dollar wellness industry. A discovery being touted by virtually every major newspaper, magazine, and scientific journal as the most major breakthrough in wellness in the last 100 years. A discovery that could make you rich. What is it? Resveratrol. And everyone is talking about it.
Resveratrol, the derivative found in red wine and certain plants, may play a role in protecting against diabetes and obesity.
Red wine contains an antioxidant called resveratrol, which is abundant in the skin of red grapes and may protect against cardiovascular disease.
Resveratrol also blocks cell inflammation, which is linked to arthritis and other diseases.
Men's Journal, Wired Magazine, Fortune Magazine. The list goes on and on. Everyone agrees. Resveratrol is the most amazing health discovery of our time.
French paradox refers to the French people's comparatively low rates of heart disease despite cigarette smoking and a diet high in saturated fats. Looking for possible explanations, scientists identified a substance in red wine called resveratrol. Studies in animals and test tubes showed that resveratrol has both antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity. It inhibited clumping of platelets associated with blood clots and inhibited breakdown of normal heart tissue. Resveratrol also inhibits certain cancer cells in test tubes in animals. In some animals, it showed a potential to increase lifespan. In recent human studies, resveratrol improved insulin resistance and plasma glucose levels after meals in people with impaired glucose intolerance. In other studies, it increased blood flow to the brain in people doing cognitive tasks and improved the efficiency of mitochondria, which give cells their energy. Reduced cerebral blood flow, the amount of blood flowing to the brain in a given time, is associated with natural aging and many neurologic disorders, such as dementia. Plants produce resveratrol as a defense. They produce more in response to stress, injury, disease, and insects. Resveratrol in wine comes from grape plants, especially grape skins. A high concentration is found in Japanese knotweed, which is used as a source for resveratrol supplements.
For most of us, these bizarre, otherworldly shapes are strangely beautiful. But the world's best aging researchers see something entirely different. They see the answer to possibly the most important and complex question of all time.
Dr. Sinclair, as I look here, I'm seeing very cute little colored cubes.
Well, these little cubes are actually the protein in our bodies that we believe controls the aging process.
If he is right, Dr. David Sinclair has found one of the genetic keys that will reset our biological clocks.
I think we've passed a turning point in our understanding of the aging process.
How did he discover these proteins? This looks like a barcode, but it's really a map of our genome, the blueprint for human life stored in every cell in our bodies. A few of these genes play a key role in the speed at which our cells age. Dr. Sinclair randomly tested tens of thousands of cells, searching for the chemical that would activate those genes.
We found them by accident. We stumbled upon this molecule from red wine. And when I looked on the computer, what is this resveratrol, and found that it was in red wine, I almost fell off my chair. Because, of course, we all have heard that red wine is good for you.
Just so happens, I have red wine.
To your health.
How much of this would I have to drink to really make a difference?
Well, our experiments tell us probably about 1,000 bottles a day.
So that was not the solution. Dr. Sinclair then went back to the lab and found a way to make resveratrol 1,000 times more potent.
So what does it do in the body?
Well, what we have discovered is that resveratrol works on a gene which is called SIRT1, and this is a gene that controls the aging process. Resveratrol seeks out that gene and switches it on.
And with that gene activated in the mouse on the right by a high dose of resveratrol, she quickly turned into a mini Olympian, running twice as far as the untreated mouse on the left.
And they were eating a high-fat diet, a fatty diet, and they lived just as long as a lean, healthy mouse, which means that they didn't get heart disease, cancer, even osteoporosis, and they lived 30% longer.
Can you do this in humans?
With the same exact gene. And we think that resveratrol could have similar benefits in people.
Realizing the blockbuster potential for his new pill, Sinclair teamed up with biotech entrepreneur Chris.Jeuenesse, together raising more than $100 million for further research.
And we think that we can increase healthy lifespan. So if you're in your 80s, you'll be behaving as if you were in your 50s.
In the first human trial, a form of resveratrol successfully treated type 2 diabetes, one of the major diseases of aging.
If everything goes very well, we will seek regulatory approval from the FDA in the next 5 years.
I think a lot of people will say you're raising expectations. This can't possibly happen.
My answer to that is, I agree, but it's true. What else can I say? Aging is really a set of diseases, and if we slow them down and cure them, people will live longer, healthier lives.
And you're talking especially now about diabetes and Alzheimer's?
So the major killers of Western society are exactly the diseases that should be able to be treated with the drugs we're developing.
Well, you know what, Doctor?
Cheers.
What is it that people fear the most? As a doctor and neurosurgeon, I have discussed this many times with my patients. Surprisingly, the fear of death is far down the list. What people fear most is being disabled. Disability due to diseases such as cancer, heart disease, stroke, or Alzheimer's disease consumes our fears mostly because it means a loss of control. Will I be able to work, take care of my family, or will someone have to take care of me? Are the most feared questions we think about as we age. Fear of aging, disabling diseases, and the loss of control are also my fears. They are also some of the main reasons I wrote the book, The Longevity Factor, How Resveratrol and Red Wine Activate Genes for a Longer and Healthier Life. During the last 25 years of treating these diseases, I have continued to seek out alternatives for addressing these fears. I have recently learned of new discoveries and research from such prestigious institutions as Harvard Medical School and MIT, showing that aging, disease, and disability may not be irreparably linked. That is not to say that as we age, developing the diseases of aging may not have to be inevitable. In my book, I discuss my own frustration with our so-called healthcare system, which really, in fact, is a sick care system, and how both my patients and my own family members have suffered from many diseases that perhaps could have been prevented. In our society, we spend trillions of dollars only when we become sick, and precious little on the prevention of disease. This frustration led me to investigate and discover fascinating new ways we can prevent disease, and perhaps even allow us to live not only longer, but healthier, and begin to avoid the disabling diseases that too often rob people of their so-called golden years. What I reveal in my book is that our genes, the blueprint of life located in every cell in our body, holds both the power to cause human disease, disability, and aging, and the promise of better health and increased longevity, all at the same time. The secret to discover is how we choose to activate our genes. What researchers have learned is that our genes do not completely control our destiny. 70% is determined by our own actions and choices, such as overeating, a sedentary lifestyle, exposure to environmental pollutants, dietary choices, control of stress. These are the dominant determinants as to whether and when we develop diseases or not. Thus, we do indeed have a great degree of control over our own longevity. In the longevity factor, I show how the discovery of once thought dormant genes, so-called survival or longevity genes, when activated, can protect all species tested so far from developing diseases of aging and ultimately to live longer. These survival genes we now know are what allowed animals and our ancestors to survive times of drought, starvation, and stress from their environment. Since most of us choose not to live in desert-like conditions or exist in a near starvation state, what else can activate these same genes for improved health and longevity? Perhaps the biggest surprise you will learn when you read The Longevity Factor is that the way to activate our genes, the blueprints to both life and better health, may be as simple as eating the proper foods or supplements that contain specialized molecules discovered to activate these survival genes without requiring the stresses suffered by our ancestors. Based on research confirmed at major universities around the world, you will learn about molecules found in certain plants called polyphenols. These molecules are what gives the red to a raspberry and the purple to grape skins. But they also have an ability to directly activate genes in animals when consumed. Resveratrol, a polyphenol, found concentrated in the skins of dark-colored grapes and red wine, has been found to be the most powerful activator of these specialized genes. In my book, I review all the latest discoveries made so far with resveratrol, red wine, dark chocolate, green tea, and other powerful polyphenol sources, and how researchers are now using these molecules in concentrate form to treat diseases of aging, including cancer, heart disease, stroke, and neurodegenerative diseases of the brain, such as Alzheimer's. I also discuss foods, dietary supplements, and a diet plan of recipes that have life-giving polyphenols and which sources may be best for you. Finally, I review a plan for living that is based not only on sound principles, but also on my own life. The idea of balancing your physical, emotional, family, and work lives in a way that can lead to a more productive and healthier lifestyle is an obtainable goal, and one which I believe is the key to both happiness and a longer life. In summary, the longevity factor is for those who don't believe that aging and disease go hand in hand. It is for those frustrated, like me, that we're always told to accept that we must develop some horrible disease as we age because of our genes. This book will give you the tools to fight back and learn that through science and genes that have existed in us for millions of years, we now have real choices as to what our future holds. I personally choose a healthy and longer life. Shouldn't you?
Reserve, a botanical blend of essential antioxidants featuring the profoundly important anti-aging ingredient resveratrol, which nutritional experts are now calling the anti-aging miracle of the century.
Reserve gives you more energy, it increases your immunity, and it decreases the heart attack rate, and it has a whole list of benefits.
Reserve promotes a healthy immune system, increases your metabolism, and also assists in digestion, cardiovascular function, and helps to maintain healthy cholesterol levels.
I am one of those aging baby boomers, and I want to stay young. And when I saw the Reserve, I thought, young on the inside, young on the outside.
The first day I felt energy. and I feel it's so, like, wake up.
We have a great gel delivery system. It tastes absolutely wonderful.
Wouldn't it be cool if someone took a global leader in anti-aging and broke the mold? If someone took our best-selling products, backed with science, and kept its DNA, evolved it into everything any health product could dream to be? What if it could restore the body at the cellular level and fight premature aging, cleanse, rejuvenate, increase daily energy? Yeah, that would be cool. Introducing the reimagined and more evolved youth enhancement system the world has ever known. Chris.Jeuenesse. We are redefining youth.